Oh shit.
On the border.
The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found.
Faster than light, spaceship of the future.
Our direction of the President of the United States, stay in your home.
Is it human or inhuman? Earthly or unearthly?
Born in that swirling inferno of radioactive dust, there is no word to describe them.
We may be witnesses to a biblical prophecy come true.
Why is it that we usually ignore the fourth dimension?
Is this the human race of the future?
Aliens on the border.
Fuck, I probably should have done the ads before I did this. What's up, people? What's going on? This episode is brought to you by CBD Main Street. Check them out on Instagram, CBD Main Street. Get your CBD products, such as this lovely product that I'm sparking a little bit. If you're feeling like aches and pains or whatever, you just want to feel a little bit better overall, check them out. Hit them up for deliveries. If you're in Laredo, talk to them, DM them on Instagram. If you're trying to get tattoos and shit, please hit up Gabe at either Por Vida Tattoos or at the Blue Rose Tattoos that's downtown. Or if you're trying to get like some merch printed or whatever, shout out to Gonzalo's Print Co. They'll hook you up. Talk to them, gonzalosprintco.com. And finally, if you're trying to get fit, if you're trying to look good, if you're trying to take off your shirt and flex at the pool, check out
legendstrain.com.
Yeah, and start your transformation now. So that's the fucking business. Oh, actually, fuck, I forgot to plug this one last thing, my bad. I'm going to be hosting my first comedy show at the Happy Hour on September 26th. The Real Ones. It's a comedy show brought to you by Laugh Laredo, so check that shit out. We'll be dropping everything when this episode goes up on Friday. And with that, that's the fucking business. What's popping, people? How's everyone doing tonight, gentlemen?
Pretty good.
Doing great.
So we have an array of guests with me today.
Yes.
To my left, we have my brother, literally. What up, Herman?
What up,
June?
what up? June.
We have the infamous Mr. Digital Jeff sitting across from me.
Always excited to be on the show. Aliens on the Border. I'm back. Digital Jeff in the house. What's up, guys?
What's up?
We have fucking Illinois mass hysteria in your area. Eric, what's up, Eric?
AKA the RZA.
What's up?
E1 syllable.
E1 syllable.
Okay,
and
bro.
then we have Mr. Vic up over here on my right. What's up, Vic?
What's up, man? Vic El Tiny.
Vic up Tiny.
Tiny.
What's going on? So we have a special episode today, man. We wanted to talk a little bit about your project that you've got coming up. I know you've been working on it for quite a while now, and it's finally coming to fruition.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, June.
Well, first of all, how you guys doing tonight? This is June, Herman Castillo. It's a pleasure to be on Aliens on the Border with Jeff, Eric, Vic, and Josh. And to talk about Guru Catz, that's the name of the show we're actually creating. It's actually everybody that's present right now is involved in this business and this
Venture
and
journey.
that includes Jeffrey, Eric, and Vic, and so does Josh that lives in the border.
And other people.
Other people that couldn't make it today, but
A lot of people behind this project.
yes, there's a lot of people behind this project. As of now, the project is it's in a good process right now. We're about to release our first book. Hopefully, we're trying to get it before 2020, trying to get 2019. It's a hard task to do, but we took it upon ourselves to actually take that path that brought us to here today to your show to actually talk about where we're at. There's a lot of things involved behind Guru Catz, so we're gonna take our time and talk it throughout the show. Jeffrey's gonna let you know, Eric, Vic, everybody has their 2 cents on how we got here today to your show, Josh. Aliens
Right.
on the Border. So
I guess one of the questions here to kind of like just set everything off is like, what's the story behind Guru Catz? Like, how did you come to the idea of the book, right? Because the book is what the show's going to be based off of, right?
yes, sir. The book. Okay, if you want to go back to the book actually came about as me and Jeff got together. We wanted to create something. We want to create something that's gonna leave. It's gonna leave us money, wealth, health, everything that's involved to become a better person. We wanted to create something like that. So we started getting together and talking about what we're gonna create and what we're gonna do. So Jeff, you want to jump in?
Yeah. How far are we going back? Like day one back?
Nah, let's go sauna back.
Sauna back.
So
That's a good start right there.
So we actually, when we first started the idea of Catz, we weren't really talking about a book. Weren't even talking about a story. The main thing we were trying to do is we're trying to create something that we can teach upon our kids, right? That was like the general concept. What can we teach our kids? What can we leave behind that has a good message that's going to help them in the future? Both me and June have kids. I mean, everybody involved has kids.
Except me, I have dogs.
Except for you, but you know.
Keep it like that for a while.
Yeah, and I think one of the main, the most interesting things that we left it like really open, like what it could be that we could create. And one of the first ideas that we had was like, all right, why don't we open up a like a juice shop, like a juice, like like a what's it called, like a
healthy juice stuff.
Healthy juice stuff. You go and you get your juices, smoothies, and we teach people about how to fast, how to go through different fasts. And through that process of us like actually learning about how to juice properly and how to fast properly, because when you fast for more than 1 day or 2 days, like you actually have to know the science behind it. So Junior went on a fucking crazy ass fast, and I'll let him talk about that. But I was doing like 3-day fast, 4-day fast, where I would just be drinking water. The longest fast that I did was 6 days, and at that time I was traveling a lot and kind of still am, but. There was one time where June went on a 11-day fast, I believe.
11 day as a hit. 11-day a spiritual journey took my body over, and suddenly Catz came alive. So and then Jeff.
Yeah. Well, I don't really remember the details of how we came about the idea of doing Catz, but we thought that the main thing is that we thought opening up a juice shop was like we're thinking way too small. So like what's on the opposite side of small? Like what's the biggest thing, the most absurd idea, craziest idea,
the most ambitious thing,
that we can come up with and actually try to accomplish that? And that was like, all right, why don't we try to create a series? It's a cartoon series that teaches people about.
Here are some animated.
Whoa!
Oh, hey, what's going on there? What's going on?
You said Siri, and it hurt Siri.
Siri wants to fucking take some of our ideas.
And it's like, she's like, what?
Yeah, and I think the main thing was that we didn't want to cut ourselves short. We wanted to be ambitious about the project, and we were like, why don't we do it? Why don't we actually create a series? And all right, let's write a book. So we started jumping back and forth with ideas. And through this process, it was one time we would go to the gym every day in the mornings, and then after the gym we would do like a 25-minute sauna session, right? So that's why he said like start at the sauna. So one time we're there, and we
were naked though.
Yeah, I don't remember that part. It was foggy.
It was
kind of steamy. It was steamy, but it was a dry sauna.
Right.
But
why?
Yeah. I thought Victor W.
Vic was watching from the outside.
Yeah, I through the glass door. I was like, damn, man.
Why is it so steamy?
I can't even see shit in here, man.
Anyways, back to their story.
Yeah, so long story short is that we actually came up with the name Catz like on the spot, and during the sauna we actually went to GoDaddy, like, okay, the name's available. I bought the name, I bought the domain name gurucatz.com, and then Junior started looking for an author. Like somebody that can help us write the book, right? And that's where it got like, it's so interesting, dude. Like I had forgotten about that part, first of all. So we were like, for months we were looking for an author. Like for like 6 months we were like looking for people, and then Junior found somebody. I'll let you go into that story right now.
He went out of town.
Yeah. So we can't find an author, and then finally June's like, you know what? I think I found the guy. I was in New York during that time, and he's like, hey, dude, I think I found the guy. I'm gonna go visit him. I thought he was gonna go visit him like down the block or something, like on the other side of town.
He went to H-Town.
And then Junior, tell that part of the story.
Well, anyways, back to the story right there where Jeff left off. Actually, when I called Jeff, and I was like, hey Jeff, I found the writer, and as we were in the journey to creating the Catz, well, I was in the journey myself. I was like, we're creating something that's gonna be major, not just only like small. We went big. We decided to go big. Instead of creating the little juice stop or restaurant or whatever we had in mind, we went and pushed ourselves to the limit and started creating a cartoon. So in order for us to create the cartoon, we actually had to believe we were going to create a cartoon.
Yeah.
So we had to get in that state of mind first. And all that happened in the sauna and all that happened about talking about fasting and everything. We started in November of 2017.
Yeah, November 2017.
I have everything written down. So I have our meets written down and everything. And when we were meet, we would just be like, we still didn't have Guru Catz in mind. We were just meeting, like, what are we gonna do and how we're gonna do this and what's gonna happen. So when we got to the point where we developed the actual cartoon, where we're developing a video, like samples of how the cartoon's gonna look like, characters. We're looking for the writer. So then I called Jeff and I said, Jeff, I came along this writer through one of my friends, but he lives in Houston. And Jeff was like, oh man, I'm out of town. I can't make it. And I remember that day, I was like, damn, like, what am I gonna do now? Do I go look for this guy or do I just kill my dream right there? Bah. And I remember that at the end, like, damn, like, gee, like, I felt like everything like stopped. Like, what are we doing? Like, what am I doing? Why am I so obsessed with Guru Catz? And then suddenly, I was like, I called my friend. I was like, hey, you want to go to Houston or what? Because this guy, we're going to meet up with one of his friends from college. And he hadn't seen him for 13 years. And he wanted to go see him also. So this is your chance. Let's go.
The guy had so just to be clear, the author
is your friend's
friend.
Yeah.
He hadn't seen him for 13 years. So
yeah.
he was going to go with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my friend Mario, Mario, shout out to Mario. And
which Mario's also the voice of Guru Catz.
Mario's the voice. He's the voice. Well, anyways, fast forward to he said yes. So that Saturday we went on a road trip to Houston. And what was like so real, I have been through that road the past years. All that route I used to run it when I was working in the oil fields. So we're heading up to Houston. I was in memory lane. I was like, damn. And I was talking to this guy all the way. And I was like, hey, I feel like something's going to change today. So anyways, we head up all the way to Houston. We get to meet the guy. What's his name? I forgot his name.
Oh, shit.
But
I think it was Ryder McGee, right?
No. I forgot his name. I think he has. Anyways, so I showed him my stuff, everything I have, the videos, info, what I wanted in the cartoon.
Where'd you guys meet up? Like, was it like a random?
It was
spot?
a mall. We met at the mall. Like, hey, what's going on?
Just in case.
Yeah, public spot.
Public spot.
We met at a public spot. Yeah, I interviewed the guy. Like, I actually interviewed the Epos. What do you do and how did he go? After a while, I told him why we were there, and I showed him everything at the end, and he was hesitant. He was like, "Nah, I just released my first book, and I don't have time right now." And I don't
already had a book.
Yeah, he has a published book.
I don't see myself doing this. But I'll give it time to think about it, and I'll help you out with anything. And he was like, "No, está bueno." So anyway, we head back home. I was all like bummed out, like, "Ching, neta." Like, I couldn't believe, because I was all into Guru Catz. In order for Guru Catz to exist, me myself have to be 100% exist behind it. Like,
yeah, to be fully invested in it.
So I was fully invested, like everything, my energy, my time, my mind, everything. I was just pushing towards Guru Catz. I started. Everything, my whole energy was into Guru Catz because I felt there was something behind it and I had to just follow it. So we came back home that night, and suddenly that night, I woke up the next day and became a writer. I didn't become a writer that day. I used to write way back, but the story came to me that night. And I woke up the next day and I called Jeff, and Jeff, when you get here, I need to tell you something. He got there that weekend, I think, or a week after. And I told him what happened, and we started creating the story. I started writing, and when we created a story, I see how this was a journey of how I became the writer, how I was destined to be a writer, and everything just opened up. Everything opened up for me. I saw a lot of color. I saw everything different. I saw daily everything was changing. The way I was thinking, the way I was speaking, everything started changing for me. So in order for me to be, I started, okay, you know what? I want to do this so bad that I actually said, this is who I am. I am gonna be the creator, the writer for the Google Cats. And I went on my journey. I started writing. I started doing character ideas, and then suddenly I had the whole story. The story came to me through dreams, through visions that I've had in like past years, that led through to right now through Guru Cats. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that was like the most powerful moments when June decided that, you know what, like, we can't find the fucking writer. We keep making the excuse that we don't have a writer, so we don't, like, we would stop there. Like, that was like where we would stop. That was our barrier, right? He's like, all right, I'll fucking write the book. And yeah, I mean, I saw that as one of the most powerful things I've seen somebody do. I'm like, shit, this motherfucker hasn't written probably since high school. I don't know when was the last time he wrote.
No, I usually used to write to my ex-wife.
Yeah, no, but you wrote like letters or something.
No,
not
but
like
actual write a fucking story. You know,
it's because that's the thing. Now that I have a mind of a writer, so now that I see my gift, now I know why I think and I used to be the way I was. Like now, because I don't actually have to write. Like I remember everything. Like once I get to write, I write because I remember everything.
Yeah.
But anyways, what were you saying besides that?
No, I mean, that's when it kind of like, then it
Shit
took
got
off.
serious.
Then the project really took off because after that, I think.
Okay, after let me jump in. So I became Guru Catz. Like everything I wanted to teach in the video, in our cartoon, in our delivery, in our books, and everything we're coming with, our stores, whatever. I started being that person. Like I need to meditate. If that's what I'm going to, I need to meditate. I need to start speaking better. I need to start listening to stuff better. Like stop listening to media. Stop doing this. I did a lot of things. I found out how I could tap into my mind, and I did, and I put it to the test when I created the book. The book I created last year, November. It took me 21 days to finish it. And through those 21 days, I was pushing my mind to the limit that I can do this. I've seen this, and I have through visions that I've had in the past. But in order for me to get to this stage, I had to start somewhere, and that's when we go back to the past, where we first started, where we first grew up, when we were first born, and I was able to acknowledge all that. Everything that I've been taught to when I started creating the Guru Cats was for the Guru Cats. And I was able to acknowledge that and put it into use and speed up the process of how and where and when am I going to release the Guru Cats. So we're 3 years into our creation, and we're about to release our first book. And I had to see all that. And besides me writing the book, I had to see, okay, where am I going to be once I do this? Because I'm already doing this. I got to make sure it's taking me somewhere, and I got to be prepared. And we started taking that journey. Me and Jeff, we keep in contact, even though he leaves out of town to work. We every time we talk, Eric, Victor, and even you, Josh, we talk about where we're at with the Guru Cats. Yeah. And I remember telling Jeff when I first figured out, I called him and I told Jeff the name's gonna be Guru Cats. I just had a vision, and it was because it was sent through me through music. That's what's more like weird, because my gift of writing has always been through music. You get me or no?
Explain, elaborate.
So when I got to write, and I've been creating music since I was a little kid. Thanks to Eric. Eric, introduce yourself right now.
Me, one syllable, producer slash director slash writer.
So
no, but yeah, I had to. Back in the days when I used to make music, or like I was all into music, I would get these guys to join. Like anybody who would want to be there, like could like jump on the, I guess the Trinity,
the
Korg Trinity.
That's the
keyboard,
and
from back 2002,
and then it had like a little
2003.
a little. I guess we were recorded in the little sampler that they had there, and Herman and Monch and I think you and Jeff sometimes would get there. But everybody who wanted to go there would jump on and just record. And I think these guys just like really took off from there, like being creative, you know.
Yeah.
Like you and Monch, like just going into that, diving into really hardcore into the music. Like you were making a lot of beats, bro. Like you were making crazy beats. Like,
yeah, I know.
This guy was ahead of his time beats. I was like, what the hell is you doing, bro? Like I let him borrow the keyboard, and then Monchis all of a sudden was making like some crazy ass hip hop beats, and then Herman was making like some reggaetonish before reggaetonish was reggaeton type of beats, and I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, like I think you dove into that creation, bro. Like a very like right after like the high school era.
It was active. But before that, we go way back to when we moved back to here to Laredo, when these guys, they brought that hip hop style with us actually, because we moved at the same time, no, from Chicago over here.
No, I think we moved before.
You guys, and then we.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
Like
Ricky
85.
and Eric were already into that hip hop scene, not Rick?
Yeah, like when I was 9, Ricky was 7 or 6.
Yeah.
So we go way back when my love for music started, that led to the Guru Catz, and I'm gonna explain how I came up with the Guru Catz. So back in the day, was we moved together. Eric, me, and Jeff were with, and you, Josh, before you even were born.
Yeah, I still wasn't born yet.
Yeah.
We used to play ball outside, and Eric would always get the speaker and tapes. Eric had a lot of tapes, and I didn't even know who was who. Eric was just like, "This is you, this is that, this is all." Like I was like, "Damn, like,
Gotta check out this guy."
So
Joshua was born when the Wu-Tang was hot.
Wu-Tang.
Well, Wu-Tang is still hot. No.
Yeah, it is. It's like a resurgence.
91, 93, right?
You're born 93 though.
That's
So
like
that
the
summer,
36 chambers, no? That's what
fucking Wu-Tang was bumping in my tape deck, bro. Like
Ooh,
A and B side,
Damn.
back and forth on the super woofer. Me and Rick were just playing that shit back and forth, playing basketball in the middle of the
Yeah,
house.
I was the only one playing Chapotea.
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 That was my CD remix facility.
You're like, hey, listen to this, bro.
You need to listen to this, bro.
And I was fucking jamming out to it.
House feeding music and shit.
All I wanted was his mustache when I was a kid, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, dude. These guys were. I mean, even you, bro. Like at a very young age, you were like diving into like the badass hip hop.
That was even before reggaeton existed. We're going way back to.
Well, there was
El General and all that, but it wasn't like right now.
That was like it didn't like really pop out till like Gasolina came out.
Yeah.
That was like the first track.
It was popping in the Latin side, but when reggaeton came out, now it
like
jumped
mainstream.
Yeah.
Daddy Yankee made it like mainstream.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I don't know. What was like?
So
up before that,
anyways, we're back to when that's when we started. I remember one day running to Eric and Jeff's house, and he was watching the video Killer Bees. ¿Te acuerdas, Eric? No?
Yeah, the Wu-Tang Killer Bees.
The Wu-Tang Killer Bees, and when they were flying on top of the bees, and I remember sitting down and I was looking at the show, and I was
the video.
Yeah. And I was like, I was little. I was probably like, when was?
It was 2099. It was 97. It was 97.
97. No, entonces we're in.
We were like 11 years old.
Were we?
Yeah, 12.
We're in middle school already, no?
Yeah, this is when
But
Wu-Tang
anyway,
came out with that badass freaking album.
Yeah, that's all
Wu-Tang
puberty.
Forever.
Yeah, puberty. No, but I stopped and I was like,
You stopped puberty?
I was like, what are these guys doing? Like, what are these guys creating with the style of music they were putting, the videos they were making, the Chinese and everything? But that I remember that capturing my eye to my imagination, to seeing those guys flying on bees, and I remember saying, oh no, I want to do that someday. Como, like the video.
Right, like make some shit.
The Killer Bees video was the most expensive video at the time they made the video. They spent over $1 million in that one music video.
Like the animation CGI shit or what?
Yeah.
Damn.
But if you look at it right now, it's like, oh shit, we can do that.
Yeah, like Triumph. Triumph
with
is
the
pretty.
You can do that with a
Triumph
green screen.
Oh, it's the Triumph video.
Triumph video.
Okay, because I just saw it the other day. I was just went down the rabbit hole.
So that had a major influence in our lives. But even through that, when I was going in through those little phases, because music is it's a major influence in everybody's life. Everybody has a little soundtrack to their life. Like if you ask them, what's your favorite song? Oh, Intocable.
That's
Chapotea.
Chapotea. So anyways, como somos Latinos, I grew up listening to Enrique Iglesias too, and Ricky Martin and all those romantic guys.
Romantic stuff.
So that's what really, when I found my, like, our mom took me once to this psychiatric or what? How do you call it?
Psychiatrist?
Or
Yeah.
Psychologist?
No.
Psychiatrist.
I have a joke about psychologists for my next.
So,
one.
anyways,
Can you hear
because
me?
I don't remember I couldn't speak English or I couldn't even write. Like, no, I didn't know how to write. Not
You
write,
still
but
don't.
I didn't know. Like, I had a lot of thoughts that I didn't know how to get them down.
You
So
still
he
don't.
told me just start writing in a journal, and I started writing a journal. But I was super young, and then when I met these guys, Enrique Lessons and all them,
You didn't meet him.
I didn't meet it. But when I met their
Well,
music,
right. When you started listening to the music, right?
I started seeing that I could write. Like, I started writing a lot of romantic shit, and that's what kept me writing. I never wrote a book or anything, but
Lloré toda la noche el Jude.
my teacher would always give me I would always cry like, oh my god, llorando. Like,
The
oh.
teacher would fall in love with your writing, right?
My teachers would fall in love with me. Y yo, pues, yeah, you know.
But back in the days, you wouldn't get caught.
Nah, so they wouldn't
get
back in the
caught.
days, they didn't write. I don't know why. And then,
Wrong turn.
is it here, Herman? Oh shit, it's not even standard.
Y era el gym coach.
No,
Come
but
on.
anyway, so I started
Want some
writing,
ride
and I
home?
started writing, and the way I would write, I would listen to a lot of music, and I would just write. But I wouldn't write songs or anything. I would just write like deep shit.
Right, like fucking like verse or like poems. Or
Yeah,
whatever you
poems
wanna call
and Mother's Day shit and shit like that. So, anyways, and I'm Morano teachers, and after I graduated, no, during high school, all that music shit, it stuck with me and Jeff and everybody.
Yeah.
And
SPI
we created
Entertainment.
an entertainment club, whatever, yeah.
It was like a crew of, we were like 30 DJs.
And we were just
And we
DJs,
throw-
and we were a whack ass DJ. We didn't even know how to mix.
We didn't know how to mix properly, but we knew how to mix better than the majority.
We had a lot of EO. I was.
We were the only ones that had Cool Edit Pro.
Oh
back
shit!
in-
With like,
we were super advanced, but anyways, we also had the habit of going to partying across because we live in the border. Aliens in the border. Shout out. And we used to
You're
go.
on it.
yeah, you're on it.
We used to go across, and we used to by 15, 16.
I would say 14. To
We're,
be honest.
we were 14, hanging out, banging girls left and right.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Taking shots.
I
I
did
meant
not.
taking shots.
Taking
Right.
shots.
Are we live?
No, we're not.
Oh, okay, fuck. I was like, I'm fucked.
Anyway, no.
No, it's not
Fast
going up till
forward,
Friday.
But so we created this group, the SPI. But
So you haven't till Friday to get your affairs ready.
that creation was already in us. We started creating since we were young. We started making movies. We started making.
Yeah,
I was
and
gonna
all
tell
the
you-
every DJ in SPI, me and June came up with their names. Like, oh, you're DJ this, you're DJ that, you're DJ that, and everybody had a name. And behind
We had
like,
a
on
shirt.
their shirt, everybody's
Who
name was in the
drew
back.
Who drew the
Everybody
thing
had
on the
like a
shirt?
playlist, no?
Huh?
Or what? Everybody had like their own playlist. Or what?
Everybody had their own everybody their own mix.
Their own mix.
But really, it was only like me, June, and Munch that had that. No, really, because
David,
we
no? David
were the only ones that had access
DJ
to a
Kalucha?
laptop, not a laptop, a computer. We had a
Right, like the actual setup to do shit.
we had set up, and we would do our own CDs, and then we would throw our own parties, and then like, you know, you know what happens at
who
parties.
drew the thing on the shirt? The one that
It was
everyone had.
David.
Oh,
David
okay.
drew the logo.
Shout
It
out
was-
to David.
It was like
Kalucha, shout
a.
out.
It looked like an ice cream cone with a mic on top.
Yeah,
It kind of looked
I
like this right
remember
here.
that.
Kind of looked like an eye, dude. Oh, it's true.
It did look like an eye. I thought
It
like
looked
I thought it looked
Looked
more
like
like
an
an eye.
eye, like an ice cream cone.
And-
Fucking.
And
I
then
would-
when we went viral is when it really hit the fan. It was like we came out in the news because they considered us as a gang.
Damn, what the fuck?
And
Preppy gang.
yeah, we were all preppies, but
We had a
like,
gang of fucking
Éramos fresa.
DJs.
but we were notorious for throwing like the craziest parties, and
I remember that one party, dude. I dropped you off.
We
like,
took
what
partying to the next level in
hell?
Laredo.
we literally took party to the next level. And when you would go to our website, this is what really got us in trouble. You would go to our website,
We
and
had a website.
Yeah, wait.
yeah, we had our website, and
This is
when
before Facebook, bro.
this was 1990, it was not.
That's like
2000,
2001,
2000,
2002.
2000, 2001, 2002.
These
Yeah,
motherfuckers
2002 was
invented
done.
Y2K.
Yeah.
Right.
They started the whole meme about that shit.
So we had the courage to create fake IDs for everybody. I mean, there weren't really like, we didn't actually print the fake IDs. We just Photoshop fake IDs and we put them on the website, you know, and everybody had fake names. Like it was our picture, like a mugshot,
Yeah.
right? And
McLovin.
yeah, like kind of like McLovin, but like you would go to the website and you would see everybody's DJ name with a fake ID, and on the age it said we're already over 18. So like one of the Mr. Spinoza was the one that actually did the investigation.
We're gonna get expelled.
And we showed up to school on the Monday, and the cops are waiting for us, and like, hey, y'all gotta take off your shirts, and they literally they
because you were wearing the SPI shirts.
And that was the death of the shirt. Right?
Yeah. And I never got my shirt back.
Monch had it.
We have to recreate. We have to recreate and sell it.
I think they burned them, bro.
And then Jeff,
what does SPI stand for?
Somos puros invisibles.
Which they were. I mean, I would never see them. Yeah. I've never seen them. Where the fuck are they? No sé.
It's a Spanish name for We Are Invisible, but
that's a good name.
We can add it to Guru Catz somehow.
Chapter 18.
But, yeah, so that's you can. I guess you can see, like, I guess what you're saying is like a lot of the things that are what you've created with Guru Catz, they were already there. Just doing their fought, you know.
I think one of the elements that we did mention a little bit, but we need to elaborate more. I think it's the whole movie thing because I think we all
when we were doing movies,
dove into movies like at a very young age, bro. Like I was 11 making films.
You were 11, so we're like.
And these guys were like after that, like it's kind of like with the music thing. When I was doing the music, they jumped on it, but when I was doing the film, they did hyper jumped in it. Like they started making their own films, their own little. Like fake documentaries experimental films. We started doing experimental films, and then we were having a good time. So that was another part of the creation that we love. Like we love doing creative stuff. And then I think that's another element to like your writing process now, being creative. Like damn, dude, I've always had these ideas. I just never knew how to put them together and put a story out there. And it's also like not only that, but just putting ideas together to actually put them into fruition because we never had that before. We just knew that we could be creative, but we didn't know how to put shit into
like how to direct it.
Yeah, and I think in the long run, like even you, Josh, you I think you're one of the after Jeff, you were like one of the ones like, all right, I have a fucking idea. I want to put it out there, and I'm gonna fucking make it happen. And then look at this, like you already make it happen, and now you're using this new fruition to create other types of fruition. And then Jeff, like he's like bombardment too, like creating stuff left and right. And now June is like tapping into that fruition process. Like, man, I have this idea.
Everything's coming together.
I gotta put it together. And then finally, little by little, like by trial and error and going into different directions, different roads, boom, he discovered it. Like, dude, I've had it all along. I just didn't know how to put it together. And now that's all coming together, dude. Now you know exactly what steps to take to put it all together.
Alrighty.
And then putting people in the right positions because, I mean, with the good help and people that support you and put you in the right state of mind, they're going to, put all that shit into process.
So we talked a lot about, like, the process and how everything came together for it to happen, but let's talk a little bit about what it is. Now, both of y'all mentioned initially that you were trying to create, like, something to promote, like, overall wealth or health and wellness, just healthier lifestyle, right? So like, how does that translate into like the whole idea behind Guru Catz?
Actually, the whole idea behind Guru Catz, it's a healthy, faith, and fun idea. That's the whole concept about Guru Catz. It talks a lot about faith, your faith in not only God, but like stuff, like have faith in life, in things. And healthy, it promotes healthness, and
like not only well-being, but like mental health also.
Mental health.
Yeah,
that's the main one.
But when you read the story, it's not like telling you directly.
Yeah,
it's right, the stories are very like you have to. It's like almost subliminal in a way. So when a kid reads the story, they're not really like saying like, oh, I gotta go pray or I gotta go eat right. They're not saying like, oh, I gotta go eat veggies, right? But these characters are going through a lot of obstacles, and through the process of them going through the obstacles, they have to persevere and find the solution where they have to tap into these powers that we have
to become
to put it
the
into
Guru
fruition.
To move forward. So that's why the story it's a beautiful story because of that. Obviously, I don't want to spoil everything, but
we don't.
What do you want to like?
How would it? Oh.
As far as like to more answer the question, this is a total 9 cats.
9 cats.
9 cats, and then 1 master. And the master's not a cat. Is that correct?
The master is
he's an impersonation of a
shapeshifter.
He's a shapeshifter.
He's a shapeshifter.
So
but his main role is as a bird.
The main role of the master is the message we're trying to send. He's the one that delivers the message to the cats, and the cats just deliver the message on, and it goes on. And while we were creating the Guru Catz, like Eric was saying, we actually are the Guru Catz, and me, Jeff, Eric, Victor, you, and I put ourselves in that how we came upon to use our abilities, and how we create. Everybody has the reason why we're here in the show today is because you have a show. If not, this show wouldn't be possible. Jeffrey is doing his thing. Eric is doing his thing. Victor's doing his thing. We all came together. How we all came together and just created how we became the Guru Catz. And mainly it's about how I became the guru. I guess you can say the guru for the Guru Catz, because I had to like I said, I went back to when I started writing the book. I was already meditating. I was already fasting. I was already going through a stage in my life where I wanted to change. And that stage happened to be my next step that opened the door to becoming the writer, the author of the Guru Catz, and creator with Jeff. And in order for me to be that person, I had to study how cartoons actually are being developed. And I studied everything with Victor. He's my numbers guy. I studied it. I told him I need to know how much is it to create an episode, trademark, everything that I need to know, numbers, so I can be able to create a story that's gonna hit those numbers. I cannot just create anything and be like, oh, it's gonna no. In order for me to make sure my story is good, I had to make sure, you know what, I see those numbers. I've like God has been sending me those numbers, so I started creating the Guru Catz. And I saw the value behind it. Like Jeff said, we both have kids. We all have families. So the struggle for me to try and create something that's going to help me in the future with my family, through that struggle, I was able to create something that's going to leave not only a story behind for everyone, but it's going to leave wealth for us. It's going to actually bring money toward us. So we're tapping into a network where it's $1 million industry, probably in billions nowadays, because of all the products and everything. So in order for me to tap into all those networks, I had to create something that's going to tap into all those networks. So I created characters and a good story behind each character, and I had to break down the business, see how far are we going to be in 3 years, 4 years, 10 years. And right now we're doing pretty good. We're in the first book, and what keeps us going is our game plan. We have a game plan. Me and Jay will always the most important thing we created before the Guru Catz was our game plan. We had a game plan. Okay, June, how are we gonna get here? How are we gonna get there? How are we gonna make it to the next step?
Yeah.
And by the time you know it, now we're filling in the gaps slowly. Boom, boom, boom. Now that we have a valuable product behind us, now we can see. Okay, we can start moving around chips and trying to figure out how we're gonna get to the finish line and to what we're trying to create to live behind. Yeah. Not even for our family, but for people to see. People to learn, people to wake up. Anything else, Jeff?
Well, I think one of the most important things you said there is like we're trying to build. When we say like we build wealth, it's not just financial. Like obviously the financial means is there, but like imagine your son being able to read that story, or even your grandkids being able to read that story, and through that story you get to inspire them and change their lives, because this book will change their lives. Like by reading the book, they're gonna be like, oh shit, like my uncle or my great grandfather or like was part of this book when it was first written. So that's kind of like me looking, 100 years ahead. That's the power behind this series. It's not so much what it's going to create for us today, but what it will do forever.
The message.
Yeah, the message that will stick forever. And I think that's one of the things that I've learned in the recent years is that, like, even this podcast you're creating, like, think about how it's going to affect the people that listen to it, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 100 years from now. Like
that is if we don't like destroy ourselves.
Nah,
if we don't destroy ourselves. That's a different.
That's why the Guru Catz are coming.
Yeah,
we'll see, man. Humankind is a piece of shit overall. But that's just me being cynical.
Yeah, but I think what I like to say is audiobook is going to be coming out soon. We're in the process of recording the audio version. The first few chapters will be for free, and then we would like the community to support us in that. It's always great having the community behind you. And then once the audiobook is released, shortly after the actual official book will come out, hopefully by end of 2019. And then we're off to the races after that.
We're off to the races. Hey, what else, Josh?
I don't know. I mean, that's what we keep going back to. Like, you want this message to go across and like for people to receive it and see what it is you're trying to show them. But what is the message? That's the question.
The message is to believe, to never stop believing in your dreams. Like I said, the main character is based off my experiences. And in order for me to create a character like that, I had to be even a superhero in real life. I had to wake up and change as a man and grow as a man and realize we don't know if we're going to live tomorrow. And so I started living day by day, minute by minute, second by second, in good faith every day. And I see, in order for me to develop this, I gotta be a perfect example behind this. I cannot just say, no, I'm gonna do a group Catz and I'm doing stupid shit behind. No, this is a hard task. Today I was talking to one of my workers and I was telling them, damn, this is a hard task. Like, it's not a piece of cake. Like, I have to write books, I have to do this, and we're barely getting started. And I'm already like thinking, damn, I have to do a lot of work. So in order for me to get into that level, I had to believe. So that's the message behind the book: believe, perseverance. Don't give up on your dreams, because the message it's in the dreams, in your dreams. What you believe you are is what you are.
Yeah. I think one of the other underlying messages there is in this book is that we all have, what you said, the word superhero. You have to become that superhero. We all have superpowers. And I think at a certain age, we start limiting our capabilities of what we can do. A good example is like this past week, me and June started running. And, when you start running, like after like the first... Like it's easy to say, oh, I'm gonna start running, but once you start running like the first mile, you're like, fuck, dude, like what the fuck am I doing today? And but it was funny because after like the first mile, we were like, shit, man, like let's stop. So we stopped. We did like 50 push-ups. We took like a 2-3 minute break, and like, all right, let's go, keep going. So we did another mile. We almost gave up again. We finished the second mile. We did another 50 push-ups, and I was like, June, like, this is what's going on right now. We're stuck in the middle of the fucking jungle. And we have to get back home, and to get back home is another 7 miles. So June was like, "All right." So once you open up your brain,
this guy's doing push-ups in the middle of the street.
Yeah. Once you open up your mind to this is what I want to do,
right?
There's no going back. That's it. You're gonna do it, and you level up as a person. Whether you're gonna persevere, or whether you're gonna tap into that meditative state that you need to, or access that super strength, super power. That inner strength that you've been avoiding, or you have to find that courage. All that is part of the book too. Like the underlying message is that you have these powers to tap into, but you're not using them. You're not tapping into them. So there's stories that that allow you to tap into it.
Oh yeah, that's what I created with the characters. The characters, they learn how to tap into those frequencies, the right frequencies. You need to make sure you in the right path. And in order for me to create that, I actually had to believe that I'm creating that, and I have tongue twister. I had to actually put myself in positions where I was gonna able to succeed because of the frequencies I was tapping into.
Yeah, well, like in this case, like this run that I was talking about, like we ended up running 9.5 miles. And when we finished, we couldn't believe we actually did the fucking 9.5 miles. Like, shit, dude, we fucking finished it all.
And we want to run like 5 more. We're like, let's go for another 5.
We almost got to the point. We ended up having a drink after, but but we
vodka.
We were like, damn, we could probably do another fucking 5. Like, we got to a point where like, damn, dude, we can do this. So it was kind of like a testament to what we're trying to. We're practicing what we're preaching at the same time. Like these are the stories that we're gonna be able to tell on the future books.
That's crazy. It's a lot of miles to run.
It's a lot of miles to run, bro.
How many books are you gonna write with? Write a mile for every fucking book.
And
Every
all
page
right.
in the book.
So let's go to the book. The first book is called The Journey. We didn't have anyone introduce the book, right?
No, not really. No.
And I was reading about
The
myself,
Journey.
Herman Castillo, and the journey is actually. When I was writing the journey, it was actually my journey, our journey, how we came together and we just pulled through. We found the door and we went through, and that's how I put the cats. Each cat. I don't want to reveal too much in the book, right?
Right.
But anyways, we're gonna drop the audiobook soon, so you guys can listen to it. And anyways, so that's how the first book is called, The Journey, and it follows the main character. The main character I'm gonna reveal it right now. Its name is Kino. He's a lion descent, and they're actually the species that I'm creating is actually half human, half feline. Eric has it in the shirt right now.
That's the.
So we follow the book through his eyes. The first book is through his eyes. How he was called upon from the gods, and how he just went on the journey and discovered the other guru cats, and together they make the journey towards their destination, their destiny.
That sounds crazy. Sounds like there's a lot of I guess like spiritual undertones involved in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's no talk about religion. Or
No, right.
Yeah.
But like more so as like a just kind of like I don't know what to call it, like other than just like some spiritual message, right?
Yeah,
a little calling about that, and that's cool though. 'Cause I feel like there's a lot of I don't know, like the way that we're at as a society, or just as like humans in general is it's like it's such a weird point in history right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's so many fucking crazy things going on, right? Like, I don't know, and a lot of people act like nothing is going on, which is even trippier.
Yeah.
So, like, it's cool, I guess, that there's a little bit of a message to kind of ground people and just keep you aware. Because I feel like I don't even know if I'm just projecting my own thoughts into it at this point or not, but a lot of the things and a lot of the topics of conversations that we've had, like back and forth, whether it's like me and you, or me and you, Rick, and Vic. I haven't talked to you too much, sorry. But
only
like,
about food.
Right. But like a lot of the times we end up talking about just being, I guess, here and now, like in the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess one of the most important things to be able to bring your mind into the moment at like 100%.
That's one of the main things we're suffering with right now. Nobody's here.
Nah.
Yeah. Nobody's
Where
here.
are we?
I'm fucking checked out, bro. I'm clocking in to work. I'm like, fuck this place. I'm gonna shoot myself. I still work here later. But damn, man, it's just a lot of I mean, I don't know. Like it takes me every time we go this route, I feel like it takes me back to conspiracy theories overall, because it's like, what the fuck? Like, how are we allowing a select few to kind of just guide us all in this direction without like stopping? You know what I mean? And then that's where the whole different, like the Illuminati, all that type of shit comes into play. At least for me, I don't know. That's the way I see it. But yeah, I feel like one of the things that you had mentioned earlier that you felt is it's like I guess like a vessel for people to wake up, or not a vessel, but like a message, right? It's a calling to be like, hey, wake up. Like when fucking Neo gets that message on the computer, like, wake up.
Yeah.
Because people need to be guided, though.
That's right. And interestingly enough,
from
like,
an early age, you know, like
that's true.
That's why we wanted to target a good age group.
Because it would have been easier to write for an adult, but like I think when you're trying to write for a younger generation, like you have to tap into that, like freedom, creativity.
Yeah, man. And right now, it's a bombardment of bullshit in the internet, bro. Like, chingado. It's sad, but you watch your kids watch YouTube, and you're like, damn, dude, they're watching stupid shit, bro. Like, just bad messages after bad messages.
Or sometimes just no message. Just turn your brain off.
Yeah, like exactly.
Type of shit.
It's just like a bombardment of, just stupid stuff, and it's sad, bro, because, I mean, we grew up, we had each other. We didn't have freaking YouTube. We would just go outside and freaking play trompos, like
trompos.
Sí, güey, canicas, and play tag and socializing and shit.
Tazos.
And I would tell jokes, man. We know a lot of fucking jokes growing up, bro. Like, we knew by memory. Like, we would just like joke after joke after joke, and now these kids don't do shit like that, bro. They don't even know how to say hi to each other and shit. Like
they're like
they text each other, man.
Yeah, like they're right next to each other. Hey, are you gonna go eat afterwards?
Wait, I'm texting somebody else.
Or like they see each other every day, but and then when they have to talk, bro, it's just awkward, awkward silence and shit. So I feel like the Guru Catz and that whole shift that we're trying to create, or that we're going to create,
that we are creating.
We are creating. It's creating like opportunities for just improvement in every single aspect of life, bro. I mean,
yeah,
and
that's
it's
a good
in
message.
small like doses, but I mean, we're trying to put something out there that's positive, bro. Too much negative and nonsense out there. A lot of negative, and then there's a lot of neutral shit that doesn't create anything. So I think we need to create a little bit of the positives to make a balance out of the world,
Yeah. So basically, that's what we're trying to create. Or actually, that's what we're creating. Positive message at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what you believe in, who you believe in, or what you actually do daily. But what we're doing is just sending a positive messages. If we can help in this earth, I'd rather do something positive than negative. And
exactly.
That's what I choose to do.
That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
That's what we chose to do.
Spread a little bit of positivity. I can get behind that. Fuck, dude, these levels are really fucking with me.
Get on it, bro.
Get on it.
Persevere.
Don't stop now.
I'm trying to
have faith in yourself, man.
Just a whole book of shit like that.
2 more miles to go.
Running is hard, dude. You fucking threw up a crazy ass Challenger. Fuck.
100
miles.
Okay.
Bro, that's nothing, bro. 100 miles is nothing.
Yeah, it is for my fat ass.
Well, the messed up part about when you go for a long run is that the farther you run, the farther you have to run back.
Yeah, I know, dude.
There's no shortcut.
Like you can't.
Yeah, like I'll do like a 4
unless you Uber,
right? Like I'll do 4 at the max.
I didn't think about that.
Fucking be like, oh shit. After that,
bro, like this one time I took my bike back in 04. I was gonna graduate from college in TAMU. And gas had gone up really high, bro. I was like, fuck, that ain't gonna pay no fucking $3 gas or $2 gas.
It was at $5 at one time.
I don't know how much it was, bro. I was like, yo, I'm gonna ride my bike, right? And I rode the bike from Santa Rita, bro. That's south side Laredo, all the way to TAMU. It looks fucking easy, right? When you're driving, because you don't feel the hills. Like, you're just driving. Even if it's a moderate looking hill, you're driving and like, that's fácil. But when you're on the bike, bro. Oh, man,
and with Laredo Sun?
Bro, no, check it out. So I left.
BMX, bro. It was a BMX.
Everyone was white before.
Anyway, I was white. I was white that year.
until
After that year,
ride.
I was darkness. But I didn't give up. I never give up. No, check it out. So I'm driving over there, in my bike in the morning, bro. Like, I had to work at 8 because I had like a TAMU job right there. So I had to be there at 8. It's a summer job, bro. So I'm going over there. And it's 8 o'clock. And so I took up like at 6:30 to get there, like at 7:30. I thought it was gonna take an hour. I took an hour and 15. Dude, I think I got there right at 8, bro. Like I changed. Like, I'm here. Persevere. But it wasn't that bad though, cause the sun wasn't out yet. It was cool. It was chilly. I fucking ran almost like dogs chased me and shit. And cars like honking, bro, get out the way. Like just gente comprando tacos. Te compré una bicicleta.
And that was before like a lot of the infrastructure was built, right? Like
this is before all the infrastructure was
built. Yeah, and like I said, back then there was no bike lane.
No, there wasn't.
I actually invented the bike lane that day. I was like, I need some bike lanes, commissioner. No, so I get there, bro. I do my whole hour shift, my 4-hour shift, and then it's time to go home. Like shit, the sun was out. It's like, bro, it was like. I think that day was 113. Plus,
that was a nice day.
With the hot wind, it made it seem like it was 119, 120, bro. 21. I felt like I was in an oven. Like, bro, am I really going to ride this bike back? But this is before the cell phone era, so I didn't really have anybody to call, like, hey, can you come pick me up, mom?
No
Plus,
Uber.
my mom was working, so I was like, shit, like, fuck. I rode the bike back. I was doing good, bro. But then, like, the hills, bro. The hills started looking like,
mountains,
Himalayas, bro. Like, chinga. I need to meditate. So I'm driving in my bike, bro, and I get to like I think.
How many miles was it? Like 10 miles?
I think it's 13 miles.
Damn.
I
So you
I don't
did a
know.
fucking marathon?
Maybe 12. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but it's probably like 10 or 12 miles. So on the way back, bro, I get to Sierra Vista area. My butt gave out, bro.
Yeah, that's the other thing about riding bikes. Fuck
yeah,
the bikes.
Like, damn, like, I got off, bro. Border Patrol passed, like, who's this motherfucker? Like, levántelo.
Should have asked for a ride.
Take this guy back. I was like, yeah,
take me home.
I need AC.
No, but I finally got home, bro. But I stopped. I think I stopped twice. I think I had $6 on me that day, and I bought like 2 Gatorades. That took me home, bro. I walked home. I think the last stretch of home, because when you get home, there's a little hill down.
Right.
So I took that bitch down, bro.
This dude never wanted to know anything about the bike.
Quit, though. Shit. Then I think I stole my bike on purpose.
Hey, but that story's in the book.
That story's in the book.
That's how the book starts.
He threw the bike in the
pre-log.
I made it seem like that somebody stole my bike. Right, June, remember?
Yeah.
You sold it.
La fuimos a enterrar.
I think June pawned that shit.
Maybe, hey, you want the bike? I don't want it.
Yeah, but yeah, sorry for the long story.
Hey, what happened to the seat? Yeah.
It's still in
No
my
Give out.
He swallowed it.
It never had a seat.
That's a story.
That's my secret.
No, the best part.
Yeah, bro, so that was one of the stories. Crazy story, but never give up.
Back to the group, Catz.
Heat was fucking banging, bro, but that's it. Never give up.
Persevere.
Can I add something to the group, Catz?
Yeah, dude, whatever.
Went back to the group, Catz. So when I was developing the group, Catz, I was making videos left and right, trying to figure out what do I see. And that's where my music came in, where the music came in. So I started getting some of my music from me and my brother, Monch. Shout out to Monch, KRMC, 2 Lions, 2 Leones. And I started messing around with his beats behind what I was trying to develop. I still wasn't writing anything. I was just trying to develop a cartoon. And so I came across this sample, kind of like Wu-Tang style. I was listening. I was at work. This is recently. This is 2018, last year. Probably like in this time around September. I was at work, and I used to work at a. No, it was last year when I worked at Tennessee.
Oh, at a call center.
At Empower Brokerage call center,
right.
life and health agent. If you need life insurance, guys, give me a call. Anyways, I was working there, and I was doing my trainings. While I was doing my trainings, I had a lot of downtime, so I would just listen to YouTube. And I was still trying to develop the Groove Catz. And I had it on random. And I started listening to ambient music, just meditating music. And suddenly, I was just there at the computer, sitting down, looking at the screen, listening to music, and actually reading information I had to for my test.
Right.
And I came across this sample, and suddenly I came across the sample what I was actually studying and doing what I gotta do. And I felt time stop. Because right there and then, that split second between 1 second and a second, and those little
quantum seconds.
Those quantum seconds, I actually went into time, and I saw myself creating the cartoon. And I saw into the future. I was like, holy shit, what am I listening to? This frequency just showed me something amazing. That's when I called Jeff, and I was like, Jeff, the name of the cartoon is going to be Groove Catz. Ya traes todo. Yeah, I already have Instagram. I have everything. Shit. Okay, we're in a good pace. So after I found out that sample, I called my brother. I started connecting everything. I called Monch, he's my twin brother. Shout out to Monch once again. And since we were young, I used to live we have a 2-story house. But you know Josh, right?
Yeah.
But
brother, motherfucker.
Nah, man.
Josh was there. He was like, "Cállense." Anyways, but I'm talking to the audience. The audience can know. Me and my brother. Well, he was into rock, and I was into hip hop and rave and all this wave of music. Reggaeton wasn't out yet. So, anyways, fast forward to today. Everything I was learning back then, now it makes sense. Like, oh shit. And I started seeing. I called Jeff Catz. I called Monch, and I said, Monch, I'm gonna head to your house. Or I texted him actually, Monch, I got something I need to show you. I hadn't even told Monch. It was only me and Jeff for a couple of months that only knew, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
And
me.
And Victor, because Victor's my personal chef. Shout out to Victor, right there. And
right there.
So when like I said, I had a glimpse into the future, and I was able to capture that because of everything that I was going through, everything that I was putting my mind through, my soul, my spirit, my body, everything that I was going through. I was so aware of where I was at that I was able to capture that moment, and I was tapping into the future, the Matrix. I tapped into the Matrix. I was in front of the computer just looking and
Dude,
shit.
That's true. I remember
So I captured that moment. I grabbed it and I told Jeff, you want this? Because I can put fast forward into all this shit that we're doing because I can see where we're going now. And he said, let's go for it.
Fucking psychic.
We went for it, and I went to Monch's house that weekend, and we did a sample of how we wanted to see. Since we work with music, I was able to see, okay, this is what we see. So we did a little 59-second little sample. I told him, I want you to create a sound. We're creating the sound. It's like when you go to Netflix and you see the trailer just playing over and over again. Like we're gonna do that, but for a
trailer for Guru Catz.
So we created the sample. While we were creating the sample, we looked at each other and we were like,
"There's the sound."
Yes.
It's kind of like when we created the AOTB intro, dude.
By the way,
vibe.
When they created the sample, they were inside the garage and it was like 140 degrees.
Yeah,
fucking
it was like a fucking sauna. It was a sauna
sweating.
session.
Ghetto sauna.
Hey guys, can I make a comment?
Go ahead.
Yeah, dude.
Are we gonna get over the fact that this guy jammed out to Ricky Martin?
Dude,
yeah, we are.
She bangs, motherfucker.
She
What you mean?
bangs. Hey,
Let's go back to that.
Es que un guy in high school me had Ricky Martin. That's why. So.
Like,
But anyway, back to the story. So we created that sample, and just by us creating that sample, it pushed. I was pushing to the limit. Okay, I need this. I need that, and we still didn't have the writer. So that I was pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, to finally.
Was when he drove to Houston to find the writer. You played that loop over and over, right?
Yeah.
Just heard that 59-second thing the whole 6-hour drive.
No,
the whole drive.
I'm not fucking joking, bro. Vito called me like, "Hey, bro, June's fucking listening to
June's fucking lost his shit."
Like that's the way you do it.
And he'll do that. He'll do that along.
I know.
Like, throughout the day, he'll just go into the living room and just start playing the new Guru Catz video shit. He's just looking at it. And
It's kind of like the Wu-Tang, bro. Like they would play their music over and over, like until they freaking knew every single part of that song, dude. Like they were just jamming into it, like, yeah.
Guru. No, it's because
Same thing, bro.
That's what you gotta do.
Now I feed my.
We're not releasing albums. We're releasing stories and books.
Stories and books. So yeah, we developed that sample, and from that sample, now we didn't get the writer, but I was able to see everything I was creating. It was for me to become the writer. Like now I see it. As soon as I saw that, I felt blessed. I was like, damn, like I have a gift. I can actually write, but I have a gift where I can see. I have visions. Sometimes I get visions, dreams through dreams.
No, we're also releasing albums. They just posted Jay's new album on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
Love and Bullets.
Love and Bullets.
Oh,
Jay Zilla.
Shout out to Jay Zilla.
Yeah, so I still do music
on
the side with Jay Zilla, Monch, and I've always liked music. But anyways, back to Guru Catz. So now, when I started writing, I went through this journey where time didn't exist no more, and I was just it was the same day all the time. Me just thinking, why am I getting all these visions? Why am I destined to create Guru Catz? Why am I doing this? And I've always been a dreamer. That's the thing. Ever since I was in high school, me and Jeff had a dream about being professional athletes, either basketball or soccer. We were that good, actually. It runs in our family. But my life took another journey, and now I see its purpose. Now I see I was being prepared for what's ahead of me. Because I did go through a rough patch, through a rough road. And that taught me everything I needed to know to create what I'm creating. And to go face on to everything that is gonna come towards me, and be strong and be have my faith at 100, 110, 100. Shout out to Drake, 100, 21 Savage.
Hey, bro, quick shout out to Rick.
Oh yeah,
Rick,
okay.
Man, he edited.
So that's part of the team.
Like a master, bro.
Rick Master. I have that's the way of saying. Let me get to that
Rick
real quick.
Castillo,
You won't believe it took 21 days to write the book, not like other.
So okay, let me get to that. Let me get to that process. When I got to there, boom. Let me write. I saw the whole story, and this story was a Bible, like that big. I saw like, damn, this story is gonna be a big story, and I was like, no, I don't have time to. I need to break it down in books. So when I got the idea, I told Jeff, I'm gonna break it down in books. So we can work and we can give ourselves time to see what we're gonna create. And now we're seeing everything we're creating. Everything's coming to life, and the Guru Catz. Now we're seeing everything that's coming behind it, and I gave us a perfect space for us to work between those lines to get to the next step. So I broke it out in books. So that's why the journey, and then it goes off to how they become the Guru Catz. So, anyways, I lost my thought. Where was I?
I don't know.
The books.
How Rick.
Okay, so I put myself a deadline. I said I was pushing myself to the limit, and I said let me do it in 21 days. That's my deadline. I started studying guys that have done it before, and I saw how successful people started working, how they saw life, and I started doing everything they did. How to become a millionaire, how to do this, how to get that, how to attract money, how to attract people into your life, how to leave people behind, everything. I started doing everything because, like I said, nothing existed but where I was going. So in order for me to go that route that I was seeing, it was leading me to become a better person, a better man, to have better thoughts, to speak better to people, to speak knowledge into people, health, whatever I can speak, but it's a positive energy. So I started following that path. And when the 21 days I created the book, I was able to create the book. I was going into scenes. I was acting them out. I was calling Victor. I was calling Jeff. Okay, this is what I have. What can you tell me? And boom, boom. They were giving me ideas. Eric. And throughout
the bike story came in.
The bike story came in. So anyways, throughout what I was creating the book, through that 21 days, I was also getting dreams and visions nonstop of where I was going, and I was capturing every vision. Okay, I need to capture that vision. I need to capture that one, and I need to capture that one. And I started putting those visions into my book, and how everything was coming together in real life, and I transcended it into how they were coming together. And I started acting out. Jeffrey was one of the characters. Eric was one of the characters. Everybody was one of the characters. Everybody that I knew. Every person that I knew. Even my mom, my dad. Everybody that I've come across, I started relating to those stories.
Yeah.
And I went deep into how I started writing, and that my romantic side came out there also. My creative side. Everything just like when I did those 21 days, I let my mind just do everything. Because in order for me to create it, and everything that I was studying, it shows you how everything we have in this world, or everything that we know, is already in our minds. So I tapped into that frequency where I was that writer, where I saw myself doing this, where I saw myself taking trips to over here, taking trips to actually mastering, just creating our brand, creating everything. So 21 days.
Motherfucker?
So 21 days, book was done. I called Jeffrey was in Egypt by this time. So Jeffrey was sending me good vibes that time. Remember, Jeff? Yeah. He was in Egypt, and he was like, June, send me this, send me that. And we were all like, damn, I feel like I was in Egypt with Jeff, but I was in the room, and he was out somewhere. I was writing.
He was in Egypt with me.
Did you get... never mind. Keep going. I'll ask her now.
So I was writing, and I was going hard, and chapter after chapter, and I saw it just getting easier and easier and easier. And it's my first book, so I wasn't trying to polish it or anything. I just wanted to get the right format, and I already had a plan in mind, where that's where Ricky comes in. And Jeffrey would always tell me, just write and keep writing, get writing the idea, and we'll polish it later. And we already had Ricky in mind. Ricky can help us. Shout out to Ricky Castillo, aka Rick Master, aka El Master. Anyways, so I finished the 21 days, and in that span, only Victor, Jeffrey, me, myself, only the people that involved in the project knew about it, except Ricky. Ricky wasn't still involved. I knew I was gonna get him in, but I was waiting for the perfect time, and the perfect time came along. I went out and I printed out. It felt so good. Everything I was doing, I went to go print out the book, laminated and everything, and I was like, damn, like we have a book. Who would have thought we were doing this? We're actually doing it, and throughout the whole journey, I was enjoying every moment.
You have it with you?
I do have it with me. It's in my backpack. I always carry my books with me, my journals and everything. So anytime I get an idea, I sit down and write it. But anyways, back to the story. So I remember that day, I printed it out, and I was like, Ricky, it was summer, so perfect time for Ricky. Was it summer? Yeah, it was summer.
Summer last year.
It was summer. No, see, it was summer last. No, it was actually it was in November.
No, it was during the.
It was through the December. It was in winter.
The winter break.
It was a winter break. So I knew Ricky, perfect timing. I knew I was gonna be able to give it to Ricky's hands, and he was able to deliver. I gave him a deadline, and since I've been studying a lot of successful people, I started learning that you need to put deadlines in your goals. If not, they're just dreams. They don't come true. Yeah. So I started putting deadlines and deadlines and deadlines. And I told Ricky, I went to Ricky's house and I showed him, I brought him up to speed where we were at. And he was all like, damn, like, what are you guys creating? And I remember one of her girls, his little girls was sitting down and they were watching the video that I've been making. And they were looking at it. They were all excited. And that's the response I'm looking like. They were all excited. And they looked at me and like, does that mean you guys are gonna be famous? And I was like, you better recognize that. No, and because that's what comes with the territory.
Right.
We gotta be prepared for that, and that's what we're trying. That's what we're since we were born. That's why we've been in front of the camera. We've been doing like unconsciously. We're doing things that are in the future. Like now we're gonna be like, oh, now I know why we're doing all this, and so anyways, so I told Ricky, and he was like, damn, June, I don't know if I can do it, and. But he did it. He delivered. I gave him a month. I actually gave him a deadline. He didn't deliver, and I was like, no, so I'm gonna extend it and extend it. At least I'm putting pressure on. I didn't want to put pressure on him, but it was just I had to capture the moment. It was right there. Like I can't let this moment pass.
Yeah.
You never know if you're gonna live tomorrow. Like I gotta live today like if it's the last day, and that's the way I was living. And I would tell Ricky I had a party. This is how much focus I was. I had a party at my work for a Christmas party. And I left early because Ricky called me. He had a question about the book. And I was like, fuck this party. I'm out. I got to respond to Ricky. Because I was so dedicated to what I was doing. So anyways, boom, he delivered. And then he delivered right probably like after Christmas. Probably like the first week of January. Because then I submitted it right away. And that's what I had a hesitant moment. I remember and I called Victor. I was like, Victor. What like go on there, and Victor was like, just snap out of it and fucking send it. Don't be afraid, and you're already here. So I remember sending it to two publishers, and I was like, the first one they called me is the right one I need in my life. And in 3 days they called me that they love my work and they want to work with us. So we partnered up with the publisher, and thanks to everybody that came along, everybody in the team, Monchi, Rene, Jeff. Also, I forgot to mention Sketch, aka Carlos
Ramirez.
Sketch 83.
He's our artist, and because of everything that I was doing at the moment, my mind, I was able to create everything that I was creating because I was able to tap into everyone that was around me that was gonna help me do this project, and that's how it became possible, and that's how the Guru Catz became possible. So, Sketch had a lot. When I went to Sketch. He has a logo for us. We're working daily trying to create characters. They're not creating the characters, just creating the Guru Catz animation and everything, the brand and everything. So yeah, submitted the book, and so now we're here. We're in the process. It's a long process. They said it's 8 to a year, maybe even more, depends on what we're trying to come up with. And I'm working with them online. Thank God we have internet service, and I was able to use the right frequencies online to help me with my life and to what I want to create with what I want in life. And So that's where we're at right now. Right now, we're working daily. We don't see each other daily, but with it, like I said, with the technology, it's one text away, one call away. We can just say, okay, this is where we're at, and we're in a good pace. We're in a good spot right now. So we decided to bring it to your show, so we can bring it out in the public and start talking about it, because we're going to start pushing our brand and also our book. And I just want to thank God for allowing us to get to this point and for allowing us to keep on moving forward every day. Jeff?
No, man, you said it. That's it. You said everything.
There's no looking back anymore,
There's
dude.
no looking back. Just move forward. Keep pushing forward. Persevere.
Yeah, pretty much. And
Ride your
like
bike.
I said, Monch, Jeff, you, Josh, Victor, Eric, Ricky, Mario. Am I missing someone else?
Sketch.
Yeah, Sketch. I said him.
Sketch was a huge. Like, everybody has played a big role to a certain extent. Like, from Ricky to Sketch, like everybody, because I feel like for example, when Sketch made the first character, like he drew the first character, we and June were like, holy shit, this motherfucker is like we saw it, like it
came to life.
It's coming to life, yeah. And when Mosh made the music, you know, like it brings more and more life to it. So it's just like everybody's been playing a huge role, and I think that at the end of the day, like June has been the driving factor, man. He's just driving, pushing forward. I think
Push it to the limit.
Yeah, and it requires that, because for any project you need somebody that's determined 110% that it's gonna happen regardless. So,
Dedicated.
Yeah, like, are you coming on? Are you getting in the boat or not?
I saw that post you put today. Are you in? If not, don't waste my time. Like, we're moving forward, and that's what we've been doing. And that's what the Guru Catz is. In order for us to create all this, our belief has to be to the max, because we're creating something that not a lot of people see. It's hard for them to see him till you're actually there, till you actually have the success.
It's already done.
Till
So
you
it's
actually
already at
have
the
book.
theaters.
Yeah.
When it's at the theaters, and people will believe you.
Oh, I remember that guy.
When it's at your Hulu stream or Netflix stream.
Or when you have a little backpack and you say Guru Catz, then they're gonna be like,
Guru shoes.
He was being honest.
Fuck.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's a journey. That's our journey right now that brought us today to your show, Aliens in the Border. And anything else you want to ask, Josh? There's a lot of things that we can cover, but we can go on for days. And we'll leave it for the people to buy the book and
get into it.
Support the book. At the end of the day, we need everybody's support, especially the local community. It starts there, and we're gonna continue pushing and representing our community to the fullest.
Where can you find like all the Guru Catz stuff?
GuruCatz.com. Yeah.
Instagram, social media, all that too.
Guru Catz with a Z at the end.
Oh, yeah, with a Z.
Okay.
Guru Catz at YouTube.
Also, if you have any questions, you can email us at gurukatz@gmail.com.
Guru Catz.
Guru Catz. He was too lazy to move his finger. Like, oh shit, I pressed it twice. Well, fuck it.
Fuck it. 2 Z's.
2 Z's. He was asleep. That's why he put 2 Z's. 2 Z's.
It's a journey, man. Irony, the book is called The Journey, the first book.
Yeah.
There's major plans for this.
Major plans.
Big time.
Big time. I have it in my pocket.
Fuck, my arms are sore as shit.
By the way, the jacket and the first hoodie is coming out soon as well for merch.
I've seen the jacket, I think.
The jacket's fucking
sick. Yeah, and we recently released the logo on YouTube. Guru Catz, GURUCATZ at YouTube.
All together.
All together.
All one word.
All one word.
There you guys have it. Go check out all of that stuff. Please check out legendstrain.com.
Legendstrain.com. Yeah.
Legendstrain.com.
Yeah.
Legendstrain.com. Change your life. Take charge of your fitness. Super huge shout out to CBD Main Street. You know, if you're trying to feel better, have an alternative. You're tired of taking fucking big pharma shit. Look at the CBD. Maybe it can change your life. At CBD Main Street on Instagram. Holla at them. If you're trying to get tatted up, please holla at Gabe. What the fuck was I say, Dave? Please holla at Gabe. Blue Rose Tattoos downtown in Laredo, or Por Vida Tattoos. If you're trying to print out some merch or whatever, please shout out to Gonzalo's Print Co. and get all of that shit done. I'm going to be hosting the Comedy Happy Hour on September 26th at the Happy Hour Bar downtown Laredo. I'm hosting having a 5-minute set at the beginning. We'll be featuring all local acts. It's the Real Ones comedy show, brought to you by Laugh Laredo. Aaron Suarez is headlining, and Roger is doing a feature spot, as well as Francisco Flores. As I mentioned, I'm hosting, and anyways, the flyer will be up when this episode comes out, so please take a look at that. We'll see y'all there. Good night.
Good night to everybody.
Or good morning, because you guys didn't see us in the morning. So good morning. Peace.
Good morning. Buenos dias.